Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Jerry's Place, where I hope that you feel at home, that you feel comfortable, and that you enjoy the financial information that's shared, and hopefully it will help you to get further along on your financial journey. Please like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell so that when more videos come up, you'll be notified, and so that this information can be shared with other people who are also along that financial journey along with you. I want to talk about getting high limit credit cards. I know a lot of times there's a lot of programs out there that they are helpful, but they give you a small amount for your credit line. So I want to talk about how to get high limit credit cards. A lot of this is kind of I don't want to say common sense, but there's some things you think about and you're like, wow, okay, that just makes sense when you're financially disciplined. And really, that's the key to start it all off. You have to be financially disciplined, and this is a marathon, not a sprint. So it may take time to get your credit to the point where you can have a high limit credit line. First, you want to pick the right partner. You want to build a relationship. As a good friend of mine says, it's just like when you're dating. You take your time, you get to know the person, you let them get to know you. So you definitely want to build a relationship, and you want to find a lender that meets your goals and what you're trying to do. So for instance, if you're trying to set up a business, make sure that wherever you're going will support the type of business you want to set up, and have other business services, maybe payroll services, maybe accounting services, things that you can use for your business. So you're looking at possibly 6 to 12 months in order to build. That way you'll have a good solid foundation. Always present correct stated income. There's debt to income ratio, which is DTI in the acronym. So you want to make sure that you have that correct, because the banks are going to look at that. They're going to look and see, okay, how much debt do you have according to compared to how much income that you have coming in. Usually 30 to 25% or lower is really good, but if you can get it lower than that, that's great. So make sure you're paying attention to that. So for instance, if your debt is $2,000 a month and your income is $3,000 a month, well, that's 66%. That's your ratio. That's not a very good ratio to lenders. So you definitely want to reduce that debt or increase that income. Now, for heavy utilization, you want to keep that down. Normally, 30% or less, again, is going to be where you want to keep your credit card balance utilization. Try to stick with that same lender. Use different products with that same lender that you're building the relationship with. Again, it's a relationship, so be monogamous. If you can, it's a good idea to try and use credit unions because they're a little more lenient, and they have a lot of other products, and they kind of give you a little grace, if you will. As long as you're building with them, they reward that a lot more than a lot of the bigger banks do. Just make sure that you properly structure your profile while you're building. A couple of things you can do. One is called a pledge loan. It's mostly a secured loan where you're giving your money to the lender, letting them hold it, and they give you a loan off of the money that you put there. And as you pay the loan back, then they'll release those funds from what you paid. So that also gives you another positive line of credit, as well as gives you a good payment history. Same thing with a secured card. You get a secured card from that same lender, it'll have the same impact. It's another different type of line because it's a different type of line than the secured loan, and also it'll keep track of your payments. Again, you want to keep your utilization low while you're building. If you can get it down under 10%, that would be excellent. But the definite ceiling is going to be 30%. Do not go over 30%. And you want to present yourself as a high value customer. Now, what does that mean? Well, you want to make sure that you have a great payment history. You want to prove that you understand about financial discipline, that you can repay whatever it is that they give you, whether it's a line of credit, whether it's a credit card, whether it's a loan. You can make your payments on time. And even if you can make more than your regular payment and pay it down faster, that's even better. And you have to have a proven need to have a high limit. If you've got a $10,000 credit line and you're only using 2,000, then what would be the purpose of having a $10,000 credit limit? They're not going to see the point of that. So they're not going to give you a high limit unless they see that you're moving a lot of money through that account. That especially applies to when you have a business account with that same particular lender. You want to make sure you have cash flow going through there to show why you would need a higher limit or a higher line of credit. You can also do a high limit authorized user. I'm going to talk about authorized users in a later video, but authorized users can be helpful. But again, do your own research and make sure you do your due diligence about that. But sometimes having a high limit authorized user can help on your behalf to show that you have a high limit credit line that's being paid. Make sure the authorized user, make sure the person who authorized you is also paying on time and stays paying on time. You can do trade lines. That's kind of the same thing as an authorized user, except you're going to be on someone else's that you may not know. Instead of a relative or a friend, you're going to be using someone else's who may just do that as a way to make extra money, allow people to be authorized users so that they can go ahead and benefit from a great credit line and great payment history. Again, do your due diligence when it comes to these trade lines and authorized users. I can't stress that enough. And in capital letters with an exclamation point. No late or negatives, nothing derogatory. Do not make late payments. Do not have anything negative while you're building your relationship or gardening with that particular lender. That's just like a relationship. You want to make sure that you're on point with everything. Make sure that you're at your best so this lender can say, wow, this is a person that we can go ahead and lend to. And that keeps the healthy relationship between you and that lender so that when you are ready, they're looking at your profile to say, wow, this person has paid on time. They've got great credit lines. They've got a mix of different types of credit, and they have an aged history. So you definitely want to work with that with whatever lender you choose. I'd say 6 to 12 months is really a good amount of time. And credit unions are usually a little bit more lenient than traditional banks. So you may be a little more, maybe helped out a little more with credit unions. They also have internal scores they use. So sometimes that will benefit you more in case you may not have the highest of FICO scores, but you have a good relationship because of the way you've paid, the mix of credit products that you have with them, and the things that you've done. So again, do your own research, make sure you do your due diligence, and understand I definitely am not a financial advisor. I definitely don't understand taxes or accounting. So make sure that you talk to a professional about any questions that you have about what you're doing with your business accounts and with your personal accounts. So I hope this was very, very helpful for you. I hope this gives you a little insight as to what you can do in order to get those high limit credit cards, or just to have a clean, nice credit profile for any lender that takes a look and decides whether or not they're going to give you a loan. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to visit Jerry's Place. Just please like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell so that others can also have the information and we can share it amongst each other and have a great financial journey. Thanks again for stopping by. Take care.